Okay, so who should give me the green light to start?
We still are waiting for some of the jury members to join. They are still joining. I see Linda just joined. We're still waiting for some more to join from the jury, and then I'll give you the sign.
You'll
Madam
give me the
Secretary.
sign. Okay.
Yes, I'll
Just let me know if you can hear me rightly, or shall I change my setup and my position?
Just a sec. Now I don't see you.
Well, because I'm not talking now. So now that I'm speaking, you should hear me.
Yes, it's well, I envy you.
Yeah, because
it's perfect. I mean, the image is perfect, and also the voice. I mean, at least I hear you very well.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'll give you the sign, but we're still waiting for few jury members.
I'm muting in the meantime.
Okay.
Give me a sign.
Okay, thank you. Ciao.
Hey guys, did I miss anything in the beginning? I cannot hear anyone.
Nope, we are a bit late.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I'll hang up.
Dear all, as the whole process was preceded by a first phase of evaluation, so there was a shortlisting. So all the shortlisted teams are now joining. So this is why we are a bit late in starting, but we'll very shortly start. So please have your understanding for this delay. I understand that we are live, but this is also something that in these times of everything online, this might happen. Thank you all. Madam Secretary General, we may start. I mean, there are still people joining, still shortlisted candidate teams joining, but I think that we can start.
I just hope that all of those who are creative in here do not trust that saying that punctuality is the virtue of those who are bored. So we are the ones who seems to be bored and the others are all creative, and that's why. But I was told that they were working late last night, as I noticed our girls in office as well. So if you still hear me quite well, and before
we do.
Before I move to plug my PC as well, but I think I have a better internet connection here now. So let us start. Hello to everybody, dear guests, dear participants. I'm pretty glad that finally we managed to have this Balkathon alive and kicking. When I was introduced to this idea, and actually it was Vera who proposed that to me, or in our meeting, the staff meeting, during the first weeks, if I'm not wrong, Vera, of the pandemic. And while we were thinking how to shake up a bit ourselves and how to develop new ideas and how to keep our organization rolling, Vera proposed, what about a hackathon? And that on hell, even that I pretend I'm quite young and cool, I didn't know what a hackathon was. I was just having the idea that it resembled me with a marathon, and then I try to understand and get a feeling that it should be something about hackers and marathon, so a combination, and here we have a new word. So here we are today, and this idea has become a reality. I do believe that that nitty-gritty of tech can be difficult for too many, for some like me, but the fear of the unknown did not eat away our ambition to have something unique this year during a unique crisis and unique times. So we try, and we decided not to stop to see things that are new, and we'll never do it, at least for not for so long. So we are quite pleased to organize this first ever regional competition, the Balkathon, which, as I said, it's unique, and it happens that it has been quite a trend these last weeks. To smarten up for the future as a response to the pandemic outbreak was the first idea that we had. And we are glad now that Balkathon brought together young people from Western Balkans, more than 88 applications received, and from many different areas of expertise from across the Western Balkans, united in their desire to offer their time, to devote the talent, to help us with their ideas, to find solutions as far as we can to this reality of Corona that is hitting us quite hard. So thank you to everybody for the participation. Thank you for bringing forward your idea. This was only the beginning, kind of an icebreaker to our business as usual work. But said that, this is not enough. We know that everything is changing. Actually, the world has been changing all times. It's not that it's only coronavirus that is changing and will bring this new digital future as a normality, as a normalcy these days. But we feel time after time that we are at crossroads. The economy of today's demands dynamic growth. We are risking to place our economies in the global village to become, if we don't have creative ideas, we risk to become a neighborhood of small crumbling mansions without funds for maintenance, innovation, and new development. So in short, what we need is to be innovative, to have some new ideas on the economic development of the region, to flex a bit and be resilient on, to build up resilience of our muscles on innovation, and we do look forward to real innovative ideas. We need to offer to the people in the region, to citizens like young ones like you, the space needed to succeed. Okay, hold on. We are not the ones who can really fund every idea, however big and great that is. But we are trying to give an example, and I hope that others as well can follow, and those who have better and robuster finances to support these kind of ideas and the digital solutions. But I think that we all agree that innovation is not a list of projects, neither telephone numbers nor only faces. It's a matter and a question of mindset, and it is a must as well. So thank you for helping us not to talk the talk, but to walk the talk and make the difference these days. Why personally and all of us were let's say, amazed and immersed in this idea of the Balkathon. And I have to congratulate Elvis for finding the right name for that. So now I'll never forget it. From hackathon, Balkathon, this is going to be easier for me as well to remember it all time. So why we thought this is a good idea? Because we were sure that by this we attract creativity. We attract ambition on the other side. We attract smart use of new technology. And as well, we offer the possibility to internationals, other partners, organizations, to have a specific outlook, especially for what happens in a smaller region like Western Balkans. I'm pretty confident we do all understand why this is important. This year, the 2020, will be remembered for dooming a bit our lives and our days. It has exposed the whole world population to a severe threat, and it has exposed our economies to a deep shock. Unemployment in our region was over 80% last year, but it will go higher. And we are having alarming figures and numbers of these first 6 months of 2020. But 1 in 4 of young people in the region is unemployed. And this will be even a more challenging period for them to find a job during this situation of crisis and after the lockdown. So we had some good and strong reasons enough to seek out new prospects for growth and development. We are inspired by efforts and commitment. Each Western Balkans economy responded to the first months of recovery after COVID. We have seen, frankly, brilliant ideas coming from small business, from business run by women, from printing the 3D masks and many new applications to facilitate the business processes. I do hope that this opportunity, the Balkathon as well, will will bring together the bright minds of the region, and I'm looking forward until the end of this event today to hear about innovative ideas of young people, on startups. Why not? It will be an opportunity for small and medium enterprises, for students, and so on. So to all of those 88 teams that participated, coming from all the Western Balkans with a satisfactory balance from all the economies, 23 from Albania, 21 from Bosnia-Herzegovina, 16 from Kosovo, 9 from Montenegro, 10 from North Macedonia, 9 from Serbia. Congrats to everybody. I know that everybody was looking forward to win. And now I can just say that I know that there might be some feelings of those that have not been shortlisted as finalists, but trust me, this is only the beginning. So it will not end up here, and it will not finish today. I'm not going to mention the areas. You are quite familiar with those, from tourism to those on the educational lines. You know how difficult it was for all of us who have kids at home to follow the online learning, but as well on the innovation and other areas that will be following here today. But I just want to wish to all of you successes to the presentations of the smart solutions today, and to end up in a positive note. Trust me, this was not these were not easy days for us at the RCC. So, and maybe I was a bit harsh with the digital team and the girls working in there, starting from Vera, Tanya, and Milena as well. Plus the usual suspect Zelda that keeps texting me 200,000 times per day. But well done and kudos, girls. When I saw you in office last night eating some cevapcici and then working still by midnight, then I said, okay, come on. So maybe, yes, sometimes you have to raise a bit your voice, but when people are willing, they will deliver. So good luck. And Pramvera, you are the moderator. I think that now you should pass the floor to Colin if he's here with us.
Yes, thank you, Madam Secretary General. Thanks a lot for all the words you said, and I would immediately, without any delay, pass the floor to Colin to greet all the participants from the European Commission. Colin, the floor is yours.
Well, good afternoon.
Good
afternoon, Madam Secretary General Bregu, Melinda, and good afternoon, dear guests and dear participants. Listen, I think this is a fantastic idea. I love the name of it. And I love the idea, and I really would like to, how shall I say, congratulate the Regional Cooperation Council, and obviously particularly the core team in that, for having worked on this idea. And it was absolutely fascinating to listen to how it developed. So well done indeed, really, really, really good. And this idea of working with young people with the digital options, putting together something in relation to addressing the current situation and looking for smart growth for the future. Wonderful, wonderful idea. And I think really, really to be congratulated. I guess, I mean, we've been trying these sorts of things a little bit on the EU side over the last weeks and months as well. I guess we're all learning how to deal more with the remote working, all the other things that we have to do because of the pandemic and so on. And we've tried these hackathons too, and particularly one in relation to the virus, where we actually got a lot of people from across the EU, over 20,000. And the idea there was have digital ideas to fight the pandemic, with 100 projects coming through. And all of this was, I mean, remote work and digital finance solutions and so on. And it seems, you know, that you've also exactly been homing in on the same ideas in your, I understand, last few weeks of working on this this competition, and I really think it's wonderful that you're, shall I say, developing these ideas in such a focused way. To overcome the immediate crisis of the pandemic, to look to the recovery, as we all will. We need an economic recovery all over Europe, all over the world, all over the Western Balkans in relation to this. I have the responsibility in the EU, in the Commission, European Commission, for regional cooperation within the Western Balkans, and particularly in relation to digital, in relation to young people, in relation to smart growth. And it was very interesting to see what were the main projects, these three project ideas too, that have come through to this stage. Smart tourism. Tourism, listen, it's clearly a domain, a theme of huge importance to the Western Balkans. We will get through this pandemic. We will come through to the sunlit uplands once more. And it's then that tourism will again be very much in our minds, and all the opportunities that are there. And I think in the Western Balkans, that's particularly the case. And it's particularly the case that there are all sorts of amazing opportunities opportunities in relation to being smarter and more modern and more cutting edge about tourism and tourism offers. Digital learning, the digital learning platform. Listen, we've all our families, everybody around us, we've been learning, but we've also been watching our children having to cope with online schooling. We've been having to, how shall I say, ourselves get up to speed quickly in relation to all sorts of new techniques and ways of working and ways of being able to access information. And it's going to be, it's also something I think that it brings us all into a much more modern world in a way that maybe was never possible before, because we're no longer isolated by location. We can all be part of all the opportunities that the digital world offers, no matter where we're situated. It's just as good in any place in the Western Balkans as it is in any place in the EU, as it is in any place anywhere. And a digital learning platform and what you're working on there is great. And then this area of online payment solutions. It is the case that, of course, we're all learning how to make sure that we can get access to products and services and all the things that we used to, I think, do physically. Now doing it online, much more now. What we must and want to become expert at. And of course, we do have to be able to be facilitated at that. And there, I think it is one area where the Western Balkans, your countries, there is certainly, I think, quite a deal of progress that can be made. Online payments in other places, they seem to be really on the rise. We want it to be exactly the same thing in the Western Balkans. Just to close by saying, listen, we're working on, and have been for some time now, what we call a digital agenda for the Western Balkans. The idea is it's sort of a digital master plan, EU and Western Balkans cooperating at a regional level, which is why I'm involved. And there's all sorts of ideas that we've been taking forward over these last while. You know about the Roam Like at Home in the Western Balkans. Well, tomorrow we're sitting down for the first time to work seriously on the EU, Western Balkans, Roam Like at Home. We have the first working meeting of the group that's to set out the planning for that. We're also working on everything from, better e-government through to skills for people, through to facilitating e-commerce and so on. And to back it all up, we're looking at more and more ways in which we can finance the infrastructure, or help private sector also to finance the infrastructure, particularly in relation to 5G, the new generation, and ultra-fast and more expansive coverage and so on. So all of that, I think it's important for you to know that there is a great deal of work going on. There can be even more as your countries come closer to the EU. So listen, good luck today. It's a fascinating idea, a wonderful, I think, initiative, and I want all of you to enjoy yourselves, and every success to all of you. And at the end, we will have worthy winners. Well done, and every best luck this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for your words and for encouraging us in this effort. I'm told that before we continue with the objective of the today event, we have to see some Balkathon jingles. This is what I'm told by our PR team. So girls, please help with that. It's a 10 seconds. Thank you. So thank you very much. Indeed, a very warm welcome from my side. For the ones who do not know me, my name is Pranvera Castrati. I'm part of the digital team within the RCC, and I'm very pleased that I'll moderate this event today. But I have to say that this is the moderation on behalf of the whole digital team, who, as Madam Secretary General said, was working hard. So thank you to both Tanya and Milena for all efforts, hard work, and late hours working in office last night and other days. Indeed, this idea of the Balkathon from us was also inspired to the needs to respond to the COVID Indeed, what COVID did to all of us was a test that we have never had before. And it showed indeed that our lives changed, our reality has changed. We were more and more working from through the digital platforms. Businesses were revolutionizing their processes. Kids started to learn from digital platforms, and also teachers were also faced with challenges in this particular aspect. And we have seen that the Western Balkan economies have been quite innovative. There have been some similar initiatives and hackathons organized, but this what RCC embarked on is the first ever regional competition event, which we call it Balkathon, Smarten Up for the Future. And this is an opportunity for youngsters, startups, small and medium enterprises and students to come up with innovative ideas, develop and promote their digital solutions through very practical and novelties in their mind. So this was an event that the whole preparation was based on all inclusiveness, equal opportunities to all, and transparency during the whole process. As you already heard, the idea was to select 3 of the most let's say needed categories, and that was also because of the figures we were seeing, be it in tourism or increase the number of digital learning platforms, or needs to have more and more online payments. And this is why we came up with these 3 selected categories: a smart tourism, digital learning platform, and online payments. And our objective is that through a process of let's say participation to this event and through ideas proposed, we had the first phase of evaluation, and 9 of the participants, the whole participants who submitted their applications and their solutions by 7 a.m. this morning have been assessed, and we have now 9 teams who were among the best and shortlisted for this final event. But it's not only our shortlisted candidates who are joining us today. We are joined today with a very, let's say, professional jury, and I would like to thank them all on our behalf. This is a very high level and very expertise jury we have from all Western Balkan economies and also from the RCC. I'm very pleased that we have today with us from Albania, Linda Shomo, founder and CEO of EasyPay Albania, EasyPay Tirana in Albania, which is a leading fintech for over 9 years now. And Linda herself has quite an extensive experience in the field while developing a lot of, let's say, innovative ideas for payments and to make saving times for everyone who applies those. We have from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mr. Tarik Namaz, who is a PhD in electrical engineering, and he is currently working as an assistant professor in the Faculty of Engineering at the Natural Sciences in the International University of Sarajevo, and he is also a manager of the research center in the university. Then we have from Kosovo, Jeta Zagrađa, Director of Business Operations at UCX Market, which is a secondary marketplace for cloud computing resources, and was created to help organizations to reduce cost, retain flexibility, and streamline time that it takes for them to get to the best price on cloud solutions. And Jeta is one of the bright women in Kosovo in her area of expertise. From Montenegro, we have Mr. Nenad Novovic, a founder and CEO of Amplitude company. It's a leading digital innovator company in Montenegro that focused on the development of own products, startups, and innovations. And he's also the founder of the Go Plant Me, the first smart city urban greenery platform with an experience, Mr. Novovic, of 20 years experience in the field. From the North Macedonia, Vladimir Trajkovic, professor at the Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering at the University of Methodius in Skopje, with professional interests focused on ICT-based collaboration system, education, and connected health. Having more than 200 publications in respectable journals and international conferences. From Serbia, we have Mr. Miloš Radulovic, head of e-commerce in Banka Intesa Belgrade, who is responsible for the overall strategy, development, and day-to-day activity related to business of banking and also e-commerce. And he is very experienced in e-commerce, business development, and other related processes, which are very close to our hearts. And from the Regional Cooperation Council, Mr. Medunyanin, currently working as an IT officer in the Regional Cooperation Council. He is quite experienced in digital solution with a vast experience and work from 20 years in many areas related to ICT, with interest in e-payment technologies and security solutions. So this was a very short introductory to our jury and the objectives of today. The whole event will be structured in a way that we will follow now presentations from all shortlisted teams in the 3 categories. And the final objective is to have 1 winner per category, which will be the best solution. And for this, our esteemed jury members will have their saying during the course of the event. So without due delays and to give some more space and room for the participants who are, let's say, the stars of the events today to make their presentations. So we'll start first with a smart tourism. So I would like to ask Nicola Kadic, Partour Startup, to start with the presentation. Just be reminded that you have 3 minutes time for your presentation, and then you will have only 1 question as a follow-up question from the one of the jury members on your presentation. So please keep your time and good luck with the presentation.
Hello everyone. I have a question. May we play a video that you sent already as a submission?
I think that you have to make your presentation the way you have submitted, so please proceed.
Okay, just a moment. Would you share the screen with my presentation?
Hello everybody, I'm Chadamir from Partour, and I love to travel. The emergence of low-cost companies has enabled me to visit a large number of destinations at very low prices. I prepared for a trip for a couple of months, and at the end of that trip, it just didn't meet my expectations. I didn't get a guide that will make my trip interesting and memorable. Amongst many others, I have a relatively small budget compared to the prices in the cities that I visit. But it's not all about historical monuments. I want to experience the culture of a place, make new friendships, and feel the city nightlife. But all of this costs. Tourist guides and groups are pretty boring. And this is the solution. Playable AR tourist guide based on TGG or tourist gaming guide concept, which gamifies tourism with the help of a modern AR technology and an innovative approach. You compete with other tourists and take adventurous quests to win real prizes. Like in parkour, but instead of jumping from building to building, tourist jumps between the sites and monuments and interact with them through an application. So, when arriving in a city, the tourist opens the application, approaches the monument, and turns on the camera. Application then recognizes the monument, and there the monument gets live. The adventure with the quest starts. Quests are challenging tasks in the form of smaller routes between sites through which he visits historical and cultural monuments that are presented with AR technology. Upon successful finishing the quest, the tourist receives a trophy in the form of a QR code that can later be used for discount or other benefits from our partners. So besides experiencing the spirit of the city, they have the opportunity to win valuable prizes. With push notifications, just in the right time, we offer our users good places nearby for having fun, the best local food, and adrenaline adventures. Our clients in this case are various restaurants, cafes, transport services, agencies who offer services to tourists. Then they pay for every customer we provide. It's CPA model or a fixed compensation agreed upon joining our community. Our pilot project targeted market is Montenegro, with 2.6 million tourists spending 62 euros per day on average in 2019. In the following years, we are looking for partners to contribute to our cause and make this region more attractive and digital. We know the situation isn't the same. So Partour solves several significant problems, especially in today's COVID-19 situation. This application will allow not only foreign tourists to feel the culture and the history of a city in the best way possible, but also provide the local tourists a different experience of their own country. On the other hand, local and foreign tourists will help small businesses to survive COVID-19 crisis. We are a young startup consisting of Alexa, a marketing strategist, Nicola, software engineer, and me, data analyst. We have worked hard for the past month for this dream, and we are proud to announce that part 2 prototype is live. So choose us as your personal travel buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm open to questions.
Yes, I would like to ask any of the members from the jury who would like to pose a question to the first presenter.
Pravira, if I may?
Yes, please, Yeta.
Hey, Nicola, thanks for the presentation. Good job so far. I know you covered briefly. I wanted to make sure how are you going to ensure financial stability of the business. So I know the 62 euros on average, that 2.6 million tourists spend, but how are you going to utilize to materialize that to develop the business?
I would like to say that the key value in our idea, one of the key values is our team also. So I'm the software engineer, Alex is marketing strategist, and Tradomir is financial officer. So we don't have any like in every software development and software products, the main costs are usually in human resources. So we already have a core human resources, and we plan and we're already doing on our next versions of our prototype. So we don't have some big fixed costs, and we think we can make it in a year that or two in our financial projections that our idea will be profitable.
Okay, I just don't understand the financial model. How are you going to make? I'm not asking necessarily how much are you going to make, but how are you going to make the first euro?
Okay. Excuse me. So our idea is when you go past, we are like an advertising platform. So when you go past some restaurants near the monument you're visiting, if that restaurant is our partner, the push notification or some kind of notification will show up and say, hey, there is a good place to visit nowadays. So in today's era, I think that even restaurants and some traditional companies like digital solutions and see their importance. And I think that we will make it. We already have spoken and pitched to some restaurant holders, and they're interested in having such a platform as their channel of advertisement. And when we get the customer to them, we log it. So as you could see in the presentation, we have some QR code that will make a customer some discounts that will make a customer want to use our application. And after taking the discount, the customer can review or give some stars to the restaurants he visits, and that's the psychological thing, our trick that will make restaurants do it, because they're always fighting over reviews, and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation and for the follow-up answers to the jury. So I'd like now to we continue with the other shortlisted candidate from the Smart Tourism, Miron Lukash, Portal World. So just for all participants to know, we'll share your presentations and whatever you have submitted. So you simply follow when it starts. So
hi everyone. So just to be clear, you are going to share our video.
Yes, this is what I'm told from
Okay,
our.
great.
So the video will be shared from us.
Great.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Miron, and together with Portal team, we've created a unique augmented reality experience that allows you to see and feel the history around you. This is created for those who are the most affected by the coronavirus pandemic in the tourism sector, which are the tourist agencies that can no longer provide their tours in their cities. Well, with Portal and the technology we came up with, they can. Our business model is fairly simple. We partner with tourist agencies in different cities. They provide the content that they want to see in the app. We use our technology to put it very fast into the app itself, and then they are selling it on the market to the end users, which are the tourists. And at the end of the day, we share the revenue 50-50. We already pitched this concept to multiple agencies in different cities. They love it and they want to see it and use it. During this hackathon, we came up with a completely new way of how we deliver AR experiences, which is marker-based. We adapted to the outdoor environment. What we did, we mapped out the locations that are in the app. We used the mappings to create 3D markers that your phone recognizes, sourced and developed the content that is in the app, created the app itself and tested it more times than we want to admit in the past 48 sleepless hours, and lastly created this video that you're watching right now. So we hope you're going to love Portal as much as we do, and we are looking forward to rolling out Portal in multiple cities within the Balkans in the next couple of months. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Miran, for the presentation and the video. I would like to ask any of the jury member who would like to address Miran with any concrete question.
May I?
Yes, please. Thank
I
you,
wondered
Linda.
if there has been piloting in any of the countries in Balkan. This initiative looks beautiful. The business model is quite good, for my opinion. But I wanted to know during the piloting phase, how many customers they got, or.
Yeah, so we piloted it here in Sarajevo multiple times. So testing out different technologies with a few hundred people who tried it, gave us the feedback. And now we have agreements for Sarajevo, Skopje, Baku, and actually Cairo in Egypt, who want to pick up the app and launch it at the end of this summer. So we are going, like around September, we are going to have it in 4 cities. For now, just in Sarajevo, testing it out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this, and also for providing the follow-up answer. Then let's go to the third shortlisted team for Smart Tourism, Brit Bon from Meadenburg. Sorry if I did not pronounce it well, but it seemed a bit difficult. So Brit.
Yes, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. It's meanderbug.com, and just thank you for selecting us for the finals. So we'll roll the video.
Rural tourism connects travelers with the unique culture of Balkan countries. We created the social enterprise, meanderbug.com, to help more locals develop entrepreneurial initiatives while opening a new world for travelers to explore. As a locally based booking portal, to date, we've been able to introduce the farm stay concept to Montenegro, work with family-owned mountain huts known as katuns, develop a growing hut-to-hut network to benefit more families, and implement eco-friendly solutions for a better travel experience.
We help travelers do good while traveling, and that is why Meanderbug has become a working, inclusive model that generated over 85,000 euros of profit for locals in 2019. We have been experiencing a significant annual growth of 100% on a yearly basis, but then COVID-19 happened and that changed everything.
Due to the pandemic, many of our local partners will lose a major source of income this year, and we have to think big in order to combat the issues brought by COVID-19.
During the Balkathon, we modified our chatbot to help address travelers' concerns amidst the pandemic. Transparency and trust have always been core principles for our team, so we are now able to provide information in real time to any website visitor.
We have also developed a plan to migrate our website from the current WordPress backend to a .NET or PHP Laravel solution. This will enable us to implement several key features.
Partner admin accounts will provide each partner with direct control over their calendar, offers, and price management as needed. This can further help maximize bookings and revenues for each partner.
By implementing calendar synchronization with other booking platforms such as Airbnb and Booking.com, we would enable our partners to maximize sales across all of their booking channels.
With a growing number of partners, we need to help users sort through options using icon search functionality. Clients that value features such as Wi-Fi or want to search by budget will be able to more quickly find an ideal farmstay match for their travel preference.
With upgraded map management will prevent travelers from getting lost in unknown off-road terrain that is often not correctly mapped on the popular mapping services. We will provide real-time information sourced from the locals directly.
With these improvements, we will scale faster in a COVID-19 recovery, enabling us to add more local partners in Montenegro, expand the model to other Western Balkan countries, and play a key role in reviving villages across the region.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I think that now it's time also for the jury to have their turn for questions. Maybe I was very strict with the jury and I said only one question, but if there is need for 2 questions per each presentation, please feel free to ask more than one. So I'd like to open now the floor for the jury members to ask this team on anything specific.
If there isn't anyone else with a lined up question, then I have one. Hey guys, nice presentation. How do you plan, what is your go-to-market strategy? How do you plan to bring the users on board? Have you thought of any marketing strategy? What would that look like?
I appreciate the question. So we've been doing this is our 4th year. So we've had 250 clients last year. We do a lot with Google search. We have a number of different ways we get there, social media, et cetera. But Jovan takes care of the marketing lead there. So I'll let him address that.
Yeah, we focus a lot on the content marketing because we have a lot of visuals. We're focused on visual. Travel is all about images and videos, which we produce in a really good way, I have to say. So what we do is we have reached out to and we have been featured in major websites of major travel companies such as Ryanair and Kiwi.com. We have also formed collaborations with a lot of bloggers that have come to Montenegro, that have experienced the rural tourism and even some other Balkan countries where we have some of the listings. And basically with the social media we use to communicate our offers and also to provide travel inspirations to anyone coming to the Western Balkans.
And if I may, and how do you plan to build partnerships in the region besides Montenegro?
Great question. We already have partnerships in Bosnia as well as in Albania. So we started thinking we would go broader and realized there was so much to do in Montenegro to develop here first. But we also feel like we hit a point where we need to automate more with calendar synchronization, et cetera, to be able to go the next step. So as we have that in place, then once we are ready to go, we can go and meet with a number of partners in different places. But our brand has been growing. It's not hard for us to find partners right now. We've had to say no to some partners just because we weren't in a good place to be able to work with them because of just some different things that didn't fit the model because of the tech at this point.
Thank you. Indeed, when the whole process started, I was personally quite excited and I was really looking forward to see these innovative ideas. And now that I see also the presentations, I get twice excited. So thank you very much for all of you for the presentations and for the follow-up answers. If there isn't anything else that anyone from the jury member would like to ask, then okay. So then let us continue. Thank you both for the presentation. Let us continue with the other. These were the 3 shortlisted teams for the smart tourism. And of course, the evaluation from our esteemed jury that will follow criteria already defined and made known to participants will come up with one winner that will be announced at the very end of this event through the awarding ceremony. Now let's go to the other category, which is also very exciting as a category, and this is also something that changes our lives. For all of us who have kids, though mine are grown up, so they don't need me to help them, but I've seen my colleagues what the struggle have been to help them, I mean, learning online. So this digital learning platform category indeed was something that we thought could come up with good ideas from our bright minds from the region. So I would now like to invite in the list of the 3 shortlisted, Gevio Tabaku from Adequate to make the presentation of their solution and their idea.
Hello, it's great to be part of this competition. Thank you for choosing me as a finalist. If you can roll the video, please, I've sent it to you. Youth unemployment in the Western Balkans is very high, and it is only getting worse with the COVID-19 situation. So we built a platform that combines online education with ways to find a job to tackle this unemployment. We present to you Adequademy. Let us give you an example about how our platform works. This is George. George is currently unemployed and in continuous search for a job. After looking for a job for some time, he understood that with little to no work experience, it is very difficult to get hired. So, how can our platform solve this issue? By offering individuals like George a way to take courses online and then get evaluated based on their overall knowledge gained by the course, companies registered to our platform can pick the top performing individuals and invite them for a job interview or hire them. Individuals that will complete the online courses will not only gain new skills, but will also get hired if they perform well. As we said before, unemployment rate in the Western Balkans is very high. According to a study by the Regional Cooperation Council, 240,000 youth aged 15 to 24 years old are unemployed but are actively looking for a job. We will firstly make the platform available for students in Tirana, Albania, and then expand to other countries in the Western Balkans. What makes our platform special for the Western Balkan region is the fact that all courses will be done in the respective language of every country, thus giving the opportunity to individuals that do not understand English to learn. But how will we generate income? Individuals that are looking to start a course will have to pay an enrollment fee in order to register for it, while companies will have to pay a fee in order to find prospective people to hire. Moreover, course centers that want to sell their courses to our platform will pay a commission to us for every sale they make. E-learning students are said to learn 5 times more material for every hour training than they do in face-to-face methods. So, individuals in our platform will be able to learn a variety of skills such as programming, graphic design, photography, sales, etc. faster than they would do through traditional learning methods. If we win the grant from this event, we will be able to fully develop our platform and start looking for potential partners. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, before I open the floor to the jury, would you like to add anything in addition to the video?
I think that the video covers all of it, but one aspect I want to touch is the fact that I added in the end with the grant money, we'll be able to fully develop the platform. So everyone that is a programmer knows that these platforms take a lot of work to be built, but I'm closely working with my university professor to make the platform available, and he has a group of programmers that I will also join to make to build the platform faster and with more good rates than we would need to pay in order for us to get it from another company.
Thank you, Givio, for this additional input. Indeed, while I'm trying to moderate this this event, I also keep receiving messages from friends and colleagues who are watching and following this online, and they are all amazed from all these innovative ideas and good stuff that they are. I mean, you guys are presenting. I'd like now to ask our esteemed jury members whether they have questions for Gavio. Quite interesting platform and ambition, I would say. But the floor is for our esteemed jury members.
Can I step in with a short question?
Of course, Nedad, of course. Still envy you, I know. The picture looks like...
Directly from the beach.
Yes, very.
Interesting presentation. And my question is about the content. Who is providing the courses? You said that you will partner up with e-learning institutions, but how will you kick it off from the beginning? Because if the platform needs to start working, you will have to have a lot of content in it, meaning the courses, or are you contemplating on letting the companies itself produce the courses? Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your question. So we think that a great way to bring content to the platform would be by getting content from course centers or educational centers, but that's not going to happen in the beginning, of course. So we think that we will be able to we will start in Tirana, Albania, with students with only one topic. So that topic will be programming. So that's the courses that we'll have for a start in the platform. How will we make the courses? We will pay university professors. Why not pay my university professors to do them? They would make the courses online and create evaluation scores and systems, and then we will add it to our platform. So this is how we think that we are going to put content into the platform for a start. Then after we develop, hopefully, we will get educational institutions to add their courses and other ways. But I think that is a great idea to make use of our abilities to make courses, because that would mean less. So we wouldn't spend as much as we would if we would ask other institutions to make them. So I think it's a great way to be on the cheap side with a budget, and then to have good content come out from us.
Thank you, Gavio, for the additional explanation. Anyone else from our jury members would like to trigger a bit more our curiosity with additional inputs of what Gavio had in mind and how that can be useful for our region? Anyone from the jury members that have not asked until now? This does not mean that the ones who were already asking are not allowed to, but I simply wanted to give this opportunity to all. Anyone would like to have another question?
I'd like to ask a question and make a comment, but I've already asked, so I'll hold my horses for a little longer.
Okay, Yeta, thank you very much. Is there anyone else from the member juries?
If I can ask a question, sure. I'm sorry, my virtual video is making my image a little bit crazy, so I will just close the.
Yes. Okay, Tariq.
So thank you very much for the idea and the presentation. It's very nice. My question, since you are going to start with programming, what will make you have an edge, or what will make your platform competitive compared to Udemy, for instance?
Yes, sure. So one of the top things that is more special to our platform than other platforms is the fact that I think that it's a great thing to start from Albania, to start small from Tirana, and then continue to grow throughout Albania. And what is the one thing that is really special about our platform is the fact that all courses will be done in Albanian for a start and not in English, because we have this perception that anyone can learn online, but if you don't speak English that well or understand English, it's quite difficult to learn online. And it has happened to me a lot of times. I have classmates in my classes in university, and they cannot follow the English courses because they do not understand English that well. So language is going to be one of the top things why people would come to our platform instead of Udemy. And we plan to if we expand to other regions in the Western Balkans, that we will, but it's a matter of time and how our platform will run. We will have courses in every local language of the Western Balkan countries. So be that Macedonian, Montenegrin, Serbian, etc.
Okay, thank you. That's an interesting point.
Thank you. Thank you for the follow-up. Yeda, would you still like to release your horses and make the question and the comment, or?
Brambera, you don't know me, but you would have known that I cannot really hold back on questions.
So shoot.
Give you a really nice idea. I am mostly curious on figuring out how do you want to add to the credibility of passing on those evaluations from the online course to the employers. I'm an employer in Kosovo, and especially for the students and youngsters who want to join the market, the employment market for the first time, typically they don't have enough to prove for what they've done. So any training courses would really make our decision making easier and give them the chance of the first work experience. Have you thought and developed any further, how would you pass on that evaluation from the online courses and their teachers to the employers?
Sure. So courses will be done once, and once they're done, there's going to be a system that, and an algorithm also, that will check and will do the evaluation for the students that have taken the course. So we will provide a platform, especially for companies that want to hire from our platform, because I think that when you are young, and I know this myself because I'm young too, and I'm trying to find a job, but it's difficult because most of the time they don't know my qualifications, or most of the time I don't have the experience. What we try to achieve with the platform is the fact that through evaluation and through projects. So for example, in programming, you can do projects inside the platform, and that's going to count on your evaluation points. So you, as a person that wants to hire someone for a programming position, for example, will have to look at the evaluation, and you will be given the best candidates of your region by the system, and you will look through their evaluation, see where they did wrong, see where they did good, and then get a look at their individual project, which will not be touched by us at any point. It will just be there, you know what I mean? So that you can review it yourself, so that you can see how the individual thinks yourself, and you can decide for yourself if this is the right individual for you to hire. You can then get them for a job interview, test them more, but the point is to get candidates that are good and that are qualified. I hope that I answered your question.
You did, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's continue with the next presentation. I'd like now to call Harun Shabanovic, Pronit Center for Youth Development, to make the presentation. I'm told that he has a PowerPoint presentation, and at the same time, he will explain it while the PowerPoint presentation is shown. So please share the presentation and.
Okay, thank you. I will share the presentation from my laptop, okay? Or you will share it?
No, I think we will share it. We already have it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So just.
So thank you, and I'm glad that we are finalists as well as our colleagues from other teams. And my job is to represent you our solution for education system. It's called DigiSchool. We want to make it simple, and today with this pandemic situation, tomorrow maybe it's another pandemic or any other disaster. So we want to make a platform which is easy to use for teachers and students, and with abilities to communicate easily with different classes and share work materials with only one button. It needs to be easy, even that my grandma can use it. And we want to make this platform for teachers and students, and whether you are teachers or students, this platform will organize and schedule for you. Okay, you can go next slide. I will represent you our agenda for this presentation. I will represent you our team that hardly work on this solution. We will also represent you our problem, and later on I will say something about our solutions and also very important donors and our target groups. I mean, on our business plan. Okay. This is our amazing team that I'm so proud of. I will start with Lady. Leila Music. She's in charge of marketing on this platform to target our target groups. Also, she's a student who had experience in online learning. She gave a lot of input from students' perspective on these situations because she was a student and she feel this pandemic situation, and she feel also whole problems that they faced with it. Our developer is Ziad Leilic. He is a programmer and developer. His role is to advise team on what is possible in the time frame required for this platform. Also, he will be in charge of actually developing this platform. Stefan Salcic is IT consultant. He's responsible for creating IT solutions together with our developer. He created this presentation as he has a lot of experience of using various IT software. He's able to simplify the platform options as much as possible, but still remain equally effective. And me, I'm a manager, and my role would be arrange business deals and meetings with donors and schools. Also manage the workflow of team on this platform. I will say you now something about problem, and most of government, especially in Bosnia and Herzegovina, around the world, have temporarily closed education institution in attempt to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. In some of part of the country, alternative teaching methods are still fully implemented. This is confirmed in many ministries of education in different cantons in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We checked this information online from various documents and portals. The problem is that nobody was ready for this kind of situation, and no backup plan for this actually there to help teachers and students adapt the current situations. And the many students actually follow the classes through emails, Viber groups, WhatsApp, which is very chaotic to organize when we take the number of students into consideration. Also, teachers and students have a very difficult time to organize their time in classes because students receive sometimes in the middle of the night their tasks or materials, since there is no single designated platform for this kind of situations. For me personally, I'm an NGO worker, and we needed to use many online tools for our education and trainings. So a lot of teachers have to resort a few different solutions to help them teach and communicate with students. Since there is no single platform, students constantly have to switch between applications and then have a hard time following classes. So both students and teachers have to extend their schedule, which then leads to a huge delay in complete school's program. So we want to make it simple, productive, and time effective. Everyone should have access and should be easy to use without distractions and unnecessary options. It needed also to work, and functionality is in the first place. Options on this platform should be enough for teachers and students to have healthy communication without using more than 2 applications at a time, because a lot of teachers, they don't have so much good skills in IT sector, and scheduling on platform should be strict, taking in consideration that everything should be already prepared in advance during the planning of a school program, so teachers and students don't waste time on unnecessary things. In this on this project, and teachers and Ministry of Education will work together and they create the schedules, contents, and prepare materials that are uploaded online in advance before the start of the next school year during the summer vacations to minimize delays and after work hours. And also school administration should prepare schedules for teachers to reduce the stress and time wasting of organizing themselves. Also, students will have their own schedules, which they will try strictly to have to follow, like in offline classes. So everything is simple. our solutions, DigiSchool, the students teacher platform, and Stefan will say more about this.
Okay, so as this platform, it aims to simplify and aid teachers to transfer their classes online. So we have to take in consideration that a lot of teachers lack the IT education required to fluently organize online classes. So basically this platform will offer the scheduling, the classes organization, communication as the mail, and the cloud file system, which will make their files or material that will work ready to use. Next slide, please. So the picture show itself, it will have a login screen, so you can log in either as a student or a teacher, separate accounts for separate purposes. It will have an automatic login. You will have a support in case if something doesn't work, and the login information will be checked regularly to see if there is no misuse of the accounts. Next. So there will be a strict schedule system that you can create or a custom one or get the automatic schedules from the school administrations. So you can, as a teacher, you can get, or as a student, you can get already predefined schedules that will be really strict to follow them. It will have a notifications and alarms, so it will notify you when the next class will begin, or if it's canceled, delayed, or for any reason why. It will be interactive. You can change it. You can cancel the classes, so you can delay it. So and the final thing on this slide is green, yellow, red, the all-time familiar colors. So finished classes will glow green, classes that are upcoming are yellow, and if it's delayed or something, it will glow red. Next. So this is the classes organization. So in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we do have like class others, or headmasters, I don't know the exact word, but every teacher has one class that he is responsible of, so that there he will be able to organize it. He will be able to organize his subjects and his classes for specific classes. He can add or remove if there is a change in the school time frame or something. And also he can organize tests, exams, and grading through the screen. Next. So the mailing system, it's a personalized email used only on this platform. No spams, no ads will be present. Only mail from colleagues and students. You can request an answer to an answered email. So if students miss a mail or they're late, you can request them to send it. We will have the option to talk with the individuals or the group conversations. So like if you have something to announce to the whole class, it will be possible. And also to send attachments and materials. Next. Here will be the cloud storage, like my files. Storage made materials just regarding the topics or the certain classes. You can sort it by subject, sort it by class, and also have a huge library of materials to be able to search. You'll always have an automatic folder sorting, and that's for my files. Next.
I will say something about our donors and target groups. Our target groups are schools, high schools. Currently, we have around 200 high schools in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We checked it already online. In our city, Brčko district, because district is special, we have our government and our own police, our own budget, which is huge. Currently, we have 4 high schools, and our plan is pilot project in one of them to implement it. Also, we have private schools. There are around 30 private schools in 15 cities of the Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I will say also something about donors. Main donors are embassies, US, EU, Czech Republic, German, Swiss, international donors, GIZ, Council of Europe, USA, crowdfunding as well. And also co-founders is our Ministry of Education in our city in the first step, later on the national level. Also, our who will finance this project, we will request funding through Ministry of Education and other donors for pilot project, which will be tested in our one of our high schools in Brčko district. We will require 50,000 commendable marks. which includes the development and implementation of this platform. And next year we will take it on a regional level. After 1 year, we will implement it on regional level. 4 schools in Brčko district. Also, we will include the Republic of Srpska and Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have good relationships with high schools in our cities, as well as in institutions. It won't be the problem to test this platform and further develop it together with teachers and school administration. And our goal is to take it on national level and international level after 2 or 3 years implementation. And as we progress and the platform proves that it's a successful project, we will continue to implement it regional and then also on the national level. Next slide, please. And that's it. We are ready for your questions. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this presentation. Although it was a presentation, it had a lot and quite of insightful information. So I'd like to open now the floor for our esteemed jury members. I would encourage the ones who have not asked any of the presenters or teams until now, Milos, Maid, I don't know whether I'm missing someone else. Of course, it doesn't mean that, I mean, who already posed question is not allowed, but.
Hello to everyone. Miller speaking. This is my daughter. You can hear. So I'm sorry. She will go now in backyard. So it will be a little bit of quiet. So I just have one question for Harun. Because we talk here about official education, do you already have some contract with the Ministry of Education, with the school, university, or something like that, or you just need to may say finish that in some near future? Because I know when we talk about the online education, we already started. Of course, in our country as well, but it's not on a private level. It's on a state level, may I say. So, do you already spoke with the Ministry of Education and with the other part of all this project with the teachers, with the university, with schools?
Okay, thank you for your question. As I said in the presentation, we have a great cooperation with high schools in Brčko district. We are implementing many projects together with students and the management of the schools, and they are very satisfied and see us as a relevant partner. Before 1 month, I think so, we had a together meeting with the Ministry of Education where we talked about our cooperation, and we want to implement other projects, and they will also support us. We want to implement something in education system, and the ministry, he was happy that one NGO would like to improve the education system in Brčko district. We are a local community with one, we have our own ministries, we are only one city, and it's easier for our pilot project to implement it here. And if we see that is on the local level successful, we will later on use a copy-paste system on other entities and local communities.
Okay, thank you very much. May I ask just one question, because everyone spoke about the pandemic, about COVID-19. What is your idea for the after COVID period? Because I hope that this pandemic will be ended very soon. So
in our country, the situation is not so good. We are not expecting that it will be finished very soon. And the Ministry of Education, they decided to put it online from this school year. And as I said at the start of my presentation, today is a COVID, tomorrow it's something else, maybe floods. We can use it even during the floods because students can go in schools, and maybe huge snow disaster or any other virus or something else. And also we can make a prototype for NGOs they can use for distance learning.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If I may jump in, please.
Yes, Maide, please.
Short question. Which kind of the support for end user you are providing? And how many, you mentioning the high school or faculty in Brčko district, and how many end users you have on your system, on your platform?
Okay, thank you. On our meeting with the Ministry of Education, he said that in Brčko district there is 3,000 high school students.
And which kind of the support for them you actually are providing? If they have
this education platform, they will use it for education.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which kind of the support for them you are providing for them? Do you have some support team, or which kind of technology you are using for that? Which kind of system of the ticketing you are using to realize to actually recognize and Spotify the problem for the end users?
They have a lot of problems because they need to use follow the education system through Viber, and it's really hard. And they had a lot of it's stressful, and they need the platform where they can find everything on one place. In this period, they use the Viber, they use the email, they use Kahoot for maybe quizzes or something like that. And
okay, maybe I can. I think I understood it a little better. Like what you wanted to say, it will be instance per school. So like the student will have almost the same information as a teacher. It will be just shared easily between them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, and thank you also for the follow-up questions. Of course, there is interest on everything. So let us try to continue with the next presentation and in the digital learning platform. So I'd like to call now Albana Muchai, Call Center Training Center, and in order for us to be also fair with all other participants, maybe we keep the presentation to 3 minutes, and then we can have follow-up questions, but please limit your presentations to the 3 minutes, just to have uniform treatment to all shortlisted teams. So Albana.
Hello. Hello. From our team calls, we took part on Balkathon to provide an e-learning solution for kids aged 6 to 16 years old by learning and connecting them internationally. On our training center, we have noticed some problems on children because we have an experience of 3 years by now, providing them different services. Recently, children are allowed to sense lack opportunities, and most of them misuse technology. Working along with the desktop, where teachers and children from region can connect, interact, and learn more about technology. Our desktop app has 3 main interfaces. So we have the user sign up. So the user provides new details about himself, and the profile picture can edit, and it might be edited. The class interface, when the students are listed over here, so here we have the students, the professor space, and the active students that is about to be questioned by the students, by other students, or by the professor. Here are the tools that the professor or the children can use, like pen, text, folder, images, erase, other games, chat. On the whiteboard, professor can provide PPT, presentation, videos, and other materials. Also, the professor has access on students' camera, microphone, and exit, and it can provide rewards, different rewards for them. Another important interface are some monthly and weekly information about professor and students in general, so total monthly classes. So a student have 2 classes on this date, 7 classes on this date. Even the professor, it works the same way. Today classes, it shows what class, what time, and new upcoming classes, what class is about to start and when. So the student can register, and it also can share that for a discount. On a national month, we have believed to have 70 students, 4 higher teachers, and 5 modules in total. In the first year, we will try to reach 1.5K students internationally, 12 higher teachers as well. Market adaptation that is thought to be reached by online marketing using Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and pre-webinars. Monthly income are 2,000 euros, and fixed costs are calculated to be 9,000 euros, while monthly variable costs are 855 euros. And The net is 1,145 euros. Countries involved are believed to be Albania, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Serbia. And then on the second year, we try to increase 20% of students' number, 12% of higher teachers, and of course, 35% of countries involved. Team members working on this idea are Ivana Mucha, entrepreneur, Fitim Vata, full-stack developer, Irsa Morata, software developer, and graphic designer. Thank you. That was all.
Thank you very much, and thank you for keeping the presentation to the limits. I'd like to now open the floor for our esteemed jury members to pose questions to the team.
Step in?
Yes, please, please.
Just the question, is this platform already working, or is this something that you are planning to put on the market? Thanks.
This platform is not developed yet. We have only the prototype for the moment. I've worked as an online teacher, while Albania has a center that have worked for kids for 4 years. And also I've been a teacher for 2 years working online. So I have experience, and we thought that would have been a great idea. But coming with another solution to teach them technology, because kids spend a lot of time in technology and parents leave their phones and their laptops to them, but they will only see videos and funny stuff and they will misuse it. So that was the point, to teach them. That was the main reason. And no, the platform is not developed yet. Mostly that's why we wanted to apply on this hackathon.
And do you have a plan for developing it?
Yes,
Are you in contact with?
yeah. As I said, I am a software developer, and our other team member.
So it's going to be a web platform, web-based platform?
No, it's a desktop application.
Desktop, okay.
Yeah, desktop.
Okay.
Desktop, because it has too many features, and it will take a lifetime to.
Maybe you should consider putting it on mobile. As a mobile application, because of accessibility, and desktop application nowadays are not so much popular because people don't like to install things on their computer. Maybe you should consider also putting it as a web-based, because of accessibility and easy reach to a lot of people.
Yes, I thought about that, about having it as a web platform, but I think it's better to start it like this, kind of to test it first, and probably later, after we have worked on that and probably having more incomes, we will develop it. Also to have a mobile app as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nenad, also for this question. Indeed, it was a very good question, because also shows that I mean, the reason why I mean the team applied in this Balkathon was exactly to develop further the idea. So we appreciate that. I mean, also the question, also putting the perspective of the reason why a team would apply in such an event.
Hannah is thinking, and we are working on curriculum about those modules related to IT for kids, and that was the brilliant idea. I mean, to offer it internationally as well, and for those kids who cannot attend it physically.
Thank you, thank you. Anyone else from the jury member would like to pose a question, or we have still another team of a category with 3 shortlisted to go. Yes, I heard a voice.
Who do you think will be your main competitor in the country and regionally?
Nice.
In the country, I don't think that it's only one platform that operates for high schools that have courses for maths and other subjects to enter the university. It's called Metronome, but as it's only for those students, and it's not well marketed, I would say, and it's not related to kids. So at least based on our market research, there doesn't exist none of them in Albania, while in region, to be honest, I don't know.
No one.
Okay, thank you.
Luckily, I think there is one, but anyway, there are not many, so still space for you girls to develop new initiatives.
Good. That's good. That's also good news for I mean for the platform and for the category chosen. So we are now entering in the presentation of the final category, which is the online payment solution. And I'd like to invite Ivan Kniežević, Lambda Group, to make the presentation of their idea.
Hello, everyone. Before we begin, I have a question. As our project is based on our existing platform, a YouTube video that we have sent you just a prelude, explaining how the platform works. And our project is taught as an additional module for that platform, for which we have made a PowerPoint presentation, which is very short and straightforward, I promise. So if you could play a video first and then open a presentation, we would be very thankful. It's an opportunity, an option.
I think that our supporting staff also can help with this. Elvis, I don't know whether that is something that we can or will simply have to follow with the presentation. Can you please help on this question? Elvis?
There, so.
Sorry?
I think both of the assets are there, so the.
Okay, so then let's play. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, please then let's continue. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I am Ivan from Lambda Group team, and I will give you a short presentation of the project that we have been working on for the last couple of months. This project, called Delphis, is an electronic invoicing system that is completely cloud-based. The entire project consists of several separate modules. For example, here we have a dashboard with a total overview, charts, and a complete overview of the old financial data of our company. Here from the menu, we have a partners module, which allows us to insert all our partners with their data like name, address, email, etc. Then there is a price list module, which allows us to insert all the items that or services that we are offering to our clients. Then in the settings module, we can input all the default data that are related to our invoices, bills, or quotations. For example, like default VAT currency, default due date, and authorized user. And in the business settings, we have data related to our company, like name, city, postcode, bank accounts, some custom fields, tax and discounts that we are using, and logos. All these modules allows us fast and easy invoicing system. For example, if you want to create a new invoice, here you can input some name, issue date, you can select the due date, select company to whom you wish to send this invoice. From the list, you can choose the item. It will automatically fill the price field, so you just input quantity. You can add some other item, input quantity as well. VAT is automatically added and calculated, as well here in the tax specification table chart and in the total sum at the bottom. If we save as a draft this invoice, it will appear in the list of all invoices here, so you can look it again, see if everything's okay. You can export it to PDF, see if it fits to your needs or to the needs of your client, and email it, send it to email if that client has an email. You can cancel it or edit the document if you see that something has to be changed. Same procedure goes for bills and quotations, so you can see the overview of all bills and invoices that have been issued. Then there is a reports module that allows us to have several types of reports for documents, payments, analytical card, or VAT credit. And of course, there is an admin panel that allows us to see which users have access to our system and what permissions do they have. In a PowerPoint presentation that we have sent you, we explained in details the additional module that we would like to develop and implement to this existing system. Okay, thank you. Now, if you could open a PowerPoint presentation.
Please try to keep it short.
It's only 6 slides, I believe. So
okay, okay. Thank you.
Ivan and Pramila, I'm sorry. Actually, the PowerPoint presentation it's practically the same as the video, so it was put into the assets of the event actually on the video.
I can.
I don't know if you want to
allow me 2 or 3 sentences just to give you the idea.
Please. Yes,
Okay.
please provide this
we
shortly.
decided to make entire project modular. And one of these modules that we would like to planning to develop is a model for digital fiscalization. As you may already know, law on electronic fiscalization is already in force in Croatia and for more than a year and a half. In Albania, it was approved last year, and in Montenegro, it was approved this year, and will start the implementation from the January 1st, 2021. Now, Montenegro digital fiscalization means that all the cash registers must connect with the tax administration office, meaning that all issued fiscal receipts are stored in their database in real time and published on the internet, whereas the check can be done electronically. As all fiscal receipts has to be approved by the tax administration office electronically, signed, and only then issued, all cash registers in the country will have to be changed. They have to implement a new cash register system that can connect to the internet, that can that are programmable, and that's a quite big expense for small and medium enterprises that are still it will create many problems to them, because they will no longer be able to issue simple invoices as they did until now. In order to we saw this as an opportunity to use our existing platform and use it as a medium between tax administration office and end users. So they can use our system for invoicing, digital invoicing, and at the moment of digital invoicing, it will contact tax administration office. It will be fiscalized, and it could be issued. Okay, they're having a presentation right now in the background. Okay, and then it can be issued by the by tax administration office. This is how it is supposed to work without our system. So you can click it, please. It's the animation that will show the. Just click several times. It will be, okay, that's how the system is supposed to work without our intervention. Now on the next, it's the. Okay, this is the problem that I have explained for the small and medium enterprises.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can go on the next slide.
Please.
Go, so we can keep it snappy. So instead of using the cash register, small and medium enterprises can use our digital platform to issue the digital invoices. And go next, please. And the specific model that we develop will communicate with the tax administration office and allow issuing a digitally signed and fiscalized invoices. Okay, go on the last slide. Furthermore, all the data are stored in the cloud, so it can be accessed from anywhere. It will not be only in the register as it is right now. And how it is supposed to work: you have our system that will communicate with the API. You can click several times. So that will communicate with the API that will be provided by the tax administration office. They promised us to give the access to the testing server at the end of September. So I believe we will have good 3 months to develop and test the application before it goes online. Okay, go next, please. Just click a few times. It's an entire animation. So it will still contact the database, receive the data back, and send back the fiscalized invoice that is still in the frames of in the legal frames, and able to provide it to their customers. As for the feasibility, please go next. As I said, tax administration office will provide an API. They are already developing it in cooperation with the company from Croatia that have developed the same system in Croatia, and that is doing the same in Albania. Although the process in Albania is halted due to earthquake in Durrës last year and the pandemic now, so it will be postponed for 2021, I believe. Go next, please.
Ivan, can I please ask you to wrap up now, because
yes. Okay, this is the last one.
We are already entering into.
Okay, we can wrap up.
Thank you.
This is just a entire procedure. Okay, if you have any questions, I will.
Yes, I'd like to. I'd like to open the floor for our esteemed jury members for any question that they might have for Ivan.
Yes,
so,
please.
If I may jump in, please.
Please, Mike.
Your platform is looking like a CRM platform.
Yes, it has something in common because it's more oriented to ERPs than CRM, but yes.
And is it possible to integrate it with the different kind of platforms
we have created an API for this purposes exclusively. So we will be integrating with some existing systems here in Montenegro. There is POS for me, something like this called system that several businesses are using, and there is a system because we were in contact with several accountants offices that expressed their interest in our platform, and there are some of them that were using some archaic systems. And
Is it possible? Yeah, is it possible to implement it indoor? I mean, on premise, which means it's not based on the cloud, which you mentioned on the beginning. So, is it that possible?
To be in-house solution? Yes, we are offering this, but in order to protect the source code, it can be in your as it is cloud-based. It's Laravel project PHP, and we can offer it, but for it is up to debate because we want to at the same time protect our source code and give you the opportunity to use it in-house as an in-house solution. So, yes.
And last question: when you are mentioning the cloud option of your platform,
yes, everything is.
With which kind of the mechanism you protect the communication between your site and site of the, for example, some partners or the end users who will use this kind of the solution?
So we followed some basic privacy regulations. So every system is very modular. So there is no interactions between clients on the system yet. Although we are planning to add some sort of. So, for example, if we are both using the system, if I issue an invoice, it will automatically appear in your application, on your account. As for the protection, we are using AWS, Amazon workstations. They are very, very snappy, and as for protection, it's protected on several levels. We're using best-in-host protection for this kind. So we are protected for DOS attacks, for unintentional access, etc. So yeah, it's
okay. It's pretty clear. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, my dad quite extensive number of questions, which to a certain extent did not allow other jury members to make a question. But unless there isn't anyone who would like to, I would propose that we go to the next presenter.
Okay.
Yes.
Ivan, first, congratulations for the idea. It's brilliant. And it's very coherent because I know that all these Balkan countries are passing through new fiscalization laws. I had two questions. I wanted to know if your system is mainly an accounting system ready to plug in to the new fiscal platforms, or you provide only the interface that connects the accounting system of the companies to the
Linda, you are
platform.
I think you have an issue with the connection. Did you get the question?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. So please, because you had a moment that you were completely frozen. Maybe it was the connection. Yeah, please, shortly, please.
No, our system is complete accounting system. It's not just a front end. It integrates several, as I showed in the video, it integrates several modules from the clients to the reports, and it is based on our economic needs, because we have looked around for some similar systems, and there were nothing that could satisfy our needs for the local market. So we created from scratch the entire accounting system, and we are still adding some features based on the feedback of our clients. We're still adding some features that they can use on the platform. So,
but still, business that already invested in their accounting systems can integrate through you, right?
Yes, that's the part. Yes, that's the part of the API. That's the in the programming language. That's the attachment between existing programs and our system. So we can provide them with the API, and they can access to our system through their system. So if they know the parameters that we provided them, they can basically input the invoice in their system, and that it will appear in our system as well.
And last question. What do you think will be your key differentiator with the local competitors in each country? Because I know, for example, in Albania, there are a lot of IT companies investing in this because they know that market is already there. So entering in a new market, what do you think will be your key differentiator?
Many of these projects are in-house solutions for banks, accounting system, etc. We created a cloud-based system that can be accessed from anywhere, and that's the first step into creating more interactive environment for economic collaboration. It showed very greatly in time of pandemics, because our clients were able to issue their invoices online without any issues, without to be present at the office. That's the first step. And the second step is, of course, the model that I talked about fiscalization, because as far as I know, no one is right now investing in this part, because as in Montenegro, this is something that will be available in 4 or 5 months. No one is thinking ahead so much, except the companies that will be looking for to sell the cash registers. So they are always a step ahead.
Thank you very much, Ivan. I know that maybe interest is high, but as we are live streaming and also we are being a bit tight in the agenda, I would like to invite the other presenter from the team, Najib Krasniqi, Bonn Finance. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have an extensive experience in the banking sector for years in Kosovo, and that actually made me understand the issues and problems that we face. And actually, the banking system is not the one that will reform by itself. We expect that the new players will make it to reform and make more inclusiveness in the financial market. So could you please roll with the presentation?
This payment app is a digital cash payment and international money transfer solution. The app is in a development phase, and we are in discussion with some banks in the region to test the solution in the banking environment. We aim to address 2 issues with the Wiz app: domestic payments with high transaction cost, abuse of cash, and high level of unbanked population; international money transfers with high transaction cost and with long times to send and receive money. This is designed and developed to use Stellar blockchain through thousands of nodes connected to the anchors in the Stellar network. App will be complementing the existing banking channels and will expand the client base with new so far unbanked clients. Non-partnering bank clients will also be able to use the Wiz app by linking it to their debit or credit card for settlement of transactions. The app can be used by consumers, merchants, institutions, and even various devices. The minimum viable product testing will be developed with partnering bank. A number of use cases will be used to demonstrate the usability of the application. After the MVP, the full development of app will take place. The wallet structure of the Wiz app. The red wallets being sub-wallets of the blue wallets that operate without KYC process. They will be funded by blue wallets that are compliant with the KYC procedures. In summary, Wiz app is a solution to work with existing banking systems and new blockchain-based networks. It will reduce the cost of financial transaction, will include unbanked population, will increase in financial transparency, and shorten the time of transaction. The business model is planned as a mix of a monthly platform usage fee and transaction commission share with the bank. In the account creation screen, if user doesn't already have an account, he will enter his account details to sign up. Once the details are filled and saved, the account is created. User can now log in with his details. In order to start using the app, user needs to link his bank account with his wallet by inputting his debit or credit card details. After clicking Save, an SMS will be sent by the bank to verify his bank account. The SMS code will complete the validation process. The user wallet is funded with money from bank account. A pop-up screen displays available account to top up the wallet. User inputs the desired amount and clicks Add to the wallet. An SMS confirmation is required to confirm the transaction. The SMS code input will complete the wallet top-up. To perform a payment, user can choose a QR code scan or a manual payment. A QR code scanner will read the QR code of the receipt or invoice. After QR code was scanned, payment details will be automatically filled. Payment being processed. User can also check the history of past transactions and view details of a single transaction. User can review or change his account details, request recovery of forgotten password, set the password, add a new bank account, or remove the existing one, or even change settings for the automatic QR payment and money withdrawal back to his bank account.
Thank you, Najib, very much for this presentation. I would like now to open the floor for our esteemed jury, who are very much into this online and having expertise. So please, Nenad, who I don't see who wants. Yeah, you want to? Okay.
So I have several questions. One, you mentioned blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and did you envisage to use the mobile wallet for storing the cryptocurrencies? Because I think that can be a bit of a challenge because of the of all technical things for having it on the mobile wallet. And the second is, how are you comparing this application with already existing online banking application for mobile payments? And the third question is, how do you plan to connect with other businesses and other clients that can accept payments through QR code through your application?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Najib, I would really appreciate if you could keep it short. I mean, try to concise and to give all answers in a. Okay, thank you.
So the usage of blockchain does not imply by itself that the cryptocurrency is going to be used. So it's going to be only euro. So it's not going to be conversion into the crypto currencies at all. The second question is about how it is compared to the existing mobile applications. Now, existing mobile applications are usually tied to one bank or one financial institution. With this application, we think that even the clients of the other banks can use the same application without even have to become the client of the bank. And the third question about the other users, what we think is actually every, let's say, merchant, we're going to provide him the way that every receipt going to produce a QR code. So in a way, the moment the client wants to buy at the supermarket, he can simply just scan the QR code and his account going to be credited for the appropriate amount.
Well, thank you very much. Nenad, can we also see whether someone else wants to add another question or? Thank you. I understand that might be quite interesting, but is anyone else from the jury? I saw Linda who wanted to. Yes, please limit yourself in one question if possible. Thank you.
Congratulations for the idea. I just wanted to know at what stage you are of your idea. So a prototype, or you are piloting it, or you are live?
Well, right now we are negotiating a pilot with a bank. And we want to test the application with a banking platform, and after that we're gonna see whether they're gonna willing to adopt the application, or we're gonna offer to the other players in the market.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, I see Maid raising the hand.
Shortly. Which kind of the authentication of you're planning to use for the end user, for example, on the mobile phones?
So for the time being, we have developed only SMS authentication through the mobile number, telephone number. So This client has
actually that is a two-way of authentication.
Correct. So you can use also, we can use also the the authenticators like Google or Microsoft including that, but for the pilot project we intend to do only the SMS authentication.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other jury member would like to add? If not, yes? No, I don't see.
I wanted
yes,
to
Yeda,
ask,
I thought why you were so silent.
Oh, just leaving the room for the others. Nagib, I really like the idea. I think it would really make all of our lives easier if we had an online payment application. So kudos to you. How do you intend to use the money if you were to win?
Well, actually, since at the beginning we are dependent on the banks to develop the full solution or the so-called working solution. So if, let's say, we're going to have these funds, then we will not be dependent on the banks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions and clarifications. We also think that whomever wins, it will be a longer, let's say, cooperation with RCC to develop that further. Is not simply winning a prize or award, but we will talk again for that. But thank you very much for the presentation. And we have come to the last but not least, the presentation, Dritan Molani, Symmetric. So Dritan, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for organizing the Balkathon event, and thank you for choosing shortlisting our application. Would it be possible to share the video?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dritan Molani, and I'm the co-founder of Symmetric Group company located in Albania. Today, we will talk about payments. So despite the growing level of digital and internet-based financial services, still the number of e-commerce payments is very low in the Balkan region comparing to the EU countries. We analyzed, and here we found the following problems. Sellers have high risk and cost to accept card payments. The onboarding process from the bank is complicated, requires collaterals, and integration is complex. Card payments are not convenient for clients, and the transactions are time to time aborted when 3D Secure is involved. Banks have high cost to acquire cards online, and it's very difficult to innovate. OpenPay is a disruptive payment solution that uses the existing infrastructure to facilitate instant retail payments. It uses mobile banking application already offered from the banks for the buyers, and e-commerce pages already existing for the sellers. OpenPay integrates via API banks and merchants in a single platform. How it is working? During the checkout, a QR code is displayed in e-commerce site. Client scans the code using his mobile banking application and confirm the payment. Then the money are transferred from the client account to the merchant account. Actually, OpenPay is running live in Albania, and our aim is to scale the solution in other Balkan countries. Using OpenPay, the entire payment ecosystem will benefit. Sellers will have a lower cost and no collaterals are required. Buyers will benefit from the convenience by just scanning the QR code to complete the payment. Banks will have additional revenues, lower cost, and simplified onboarding process. Thank you.
Thank you, Dritan, very much for this very brief but interesting presentation. I would now ask our esteemed jury members whether they would like to address any question to Dritan.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, very cool idea. Congratulations.
Yes, Vladimir.
Congratulations. Well, I've seen quite a few applications that are similar to yours. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I was wondering.
Yes.
I have two questions. So first one is,
yes,
we have done actually during the hackathon, because you've said that it's already running up. So Did you use this Balkathon just to promote?
Yes. Actually, I want to, sorry.
And the second one is, how do you plan to establish connection with different mobile banking systems that are existing in different countries? Thank you.
Yes, I want to clarify that we are not offering a payment application for the customers. So we approach through the banks. So we integrate with the banks, and our solution is using the existing applications already offered from the banks in the market. What we do is we integrate with the banks via APIs, and then interface the bank with the merchants and e-commerces.
Yeah, but my question was, what did you do during the hackathon? Or you just used this opportunity to promote your service?
Yeah, during the hackathon, the application in the hackathon is to, let's say, to scale the solution in the other countries. So it's a scaling. Its solution is already running live, and the application is for scaling.
Okay, thank you. Any other jury member would like to ask?
Sritan, what is your biggest challenge right now with OpenPay?
The biggest challenge is, of course, customer behavior. Despite the fact that we have made a huge effort to install the solution in hundreds and thousands of merchants in Albania, and also started to discuss in the other neighbor countries as well. Also, the customer behavior, it's something that needs to be promoted. And since that we don't have our own application, this has to be promoted from the banks, and that's our challenge for the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
And how will you incentivize the banks to promote this for you? What's their in this?
Actually, the banks are very interested to have let's say to make the clients pay using this solution, because first they generate direct revenues from account to account transfers, which are now today are for free. So they generate direct revenues from this. And also, of course, all the money are circulating inside the bank, and they have other benefits that are indirect benefits.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I think that we have exhausted the presentations and also questions, and I'm sure that through the follow-up questions, it was important for the jury members to also understand additional aspects of the proposed solution. Now that we are done with the presentations, now is the time that we should break for voting. But before we do this, I would like to once again to reiterate the criteria that have been already shared with all participants. So you have been informed in advance of the criteria that will be used for the assessment, and also the jury members know this, and your creativity, the applicability of the solution, and of course the time invested during the Balkathon for developing it. What is crucial for us during this whole process, and what have been also very let's say inspiring for us throughout the whole presentation we have heard, is the effort put to develop further this solution. So it's good to have existing ideas and to be presented and to be scaled and also to be promoted, but at the same time new ideas developed during the Balkathon, and this process of promoting and developing ideas to be also part of the evaluation. So without due delay, I think that for all the shortlisted candidates and for all 9 teams who presented, a big thank you, a very warm congratulations for you all to the solutions and ideas you have provided. And now the heat is rising because the jury will vote. So we'll have a 30 minutes break to leave the jury, consolidate further and make the assessment and the evaluation for each of the proposed solution. And we will be back in the live stream again in 30 minutes. Stay with us, stay tuned, and let's hope for the best candidates and the best solutions to win in each of the categories. Good luck to our jury members, and thanks a lot.
The Regional Cooperation Council presents Balkan Barometer, People and Business Viewpoints. Regional.
In these unprecedented times, technology has allowed us to work, educate, and live emotions, although physically distant. Yet not all could be done this way. Our lives as we know it went through a tremendous trial. Does it come as a surprise to you that 90% of Western Balkan citizens see coronavirus as a threat to their national economy, whereas only 70% see it as a threat to themselves personally? Well, I'm not surprised that the fear of losing one's job is greater than actually getting the virus, especially when we know that the unemployment is on the rise in the region as we brace ourselves for a recession. More than 90% of the people see measures taken to stop spreading the virus, such as self-isolation, quarantine for the infected, and the use of masks and gloves as effective. But less than half, 42% to be precise, think that governments are doing enough to protect people from losing their jobs, whereas 35% are impatient to return to work, whereas 32% are just happy to be spending time at home with their families. Now, if anything positive did come out of this pandemic, it's spending more time with loved ones. When it comes to Western Balkan businesses, 81% had been affected by COVID-19, 2% had been forced to close down, and 60% had to downscale in order to survive. Now, on the other hand, 38% declared problems with supply chain, which I suppose would have been an even bigger issue had the region not succeeded to open green corridors. Now, the biggest concern for businesses is a loss of income. And you can see this in the example of the tourism sector, which during lockdown lost €1 billion monthly. 50% of businesses believe that financial aid would be best, while 48% believe that delaying taxes is the way to go. To conclude with, 1/4 of businesses are not confident they have the resources to make it through the coronavirus outbreak. Although 5% already report firing their staff permanently, in the Western Balkans there is still a dash of optimism, with 41% of businesses are confident that the economic situation after the COVID situation will be positive. Perhaps they'll create a vaccine or find a cure, or the virus will just simply weaken. But whatever happens, we'd like to believe it. I'm Rashad Strick, the owner of the Ministry at Chafe, a small coffee shop in Sarajevo.
As this pandemic keeps billions of people at home, one sector is already feeling the pinch. I mean, tourism. 1 in 5 booked trips to Western Balkans planned for 2020 is cancelled. As tourism contributes to 10.2% of the GDP in the Western Balkans, the situation is notoriously difficult. 11.4% of the total employees are from travel and tourism sector, which means downturns in this employment scheme will be affected soon. Tellingly, indeed 42% of travel agencies and tour operators, when asked by us, confirmed they already started cutting costs and sacked some employees. The impact of corona pandemic is so huge that the World Tourism Organization estimates 2020 international arrivals worldwide would decline by 20, even 30%. In other words, it would cause the sector to lose some 7 years of its growth, as at European level is losing €1 billion per month. 78% of travel agencies and tour operators in the Western Balkans consider they will have huge economic impact due to the cancellation of the booked trips. Yes, these numbers are a stinging assessment of the economic difficulties we have to face in the post-pandemic phase. I know one might ask, why are you telling us how gloomy the picture looks like? Because denial helps nobody. Faced with the bad news, we will all have to rethink a higher challenge. How will this end? What will the authorities do to reduce the negative effects of the crisis, support tourism and attract visitors to our region? Will financial support be enough? How much a tax relief can ease the sufferings? What are the expectations of the workers in sector bringing billions of euros to our economies? These are questions yet to be answered. Until then, we can only say, come together now, in a united front to limit unprecedented loss of tourism revenues. Let's start marketing and promotion of new ideas how to save the sector. What about visa relief system or no visa travel regime among Western Balkans? RCC proposed it last year. Can we start from home? July is a special day for the Western Balkans. On this date a year ago, we started paying less money for our phone bills, as the regional roaming agreement entered into force, reducing roaming costs across our region as much as 99% in some cases. And we can surf, talk and text more. Data traffic increased for more than 60%. Outgoing calls in roaming are heading to zero roaming tariffs in 2021. A regional success story in its own right. Could such regional cooperation achievement be repeated? Yes, of course it could. Western Balkans demonstrated it in the most difficult moment during the coronavirus outbreak. Supply chains, a necessity for our citizens while in lockdown, was never blocked. We got together and made green corridors, ensuring smooth delivery of medicines and essential goods. Where do we go next? Regional economic integration, fully. That's what Western Balkans, RCC and European Union are working on. Bottom line, modernization fit for citizens of 21st century. We know and we have tested the formula. Now we need to focus on the real target and make it happen. As when there is a will, there is always a way. To make ourselves count as we are good, better, always together.
The Regional Cooperation Council presents Balkan Barometer, People and Business Viewpoints. Regional.
In these unprecedented times, technology has allowed us to work, educate, and live emotions, although physically distant. Yet not all could be done this way. Our lives as we know it went through a tremendous trial. Does it come as a surprise to you that 90% of Western Balkan citizens see coronavirus as a threat to their national economy, whereas only 70% see it as a threat to themselves personally? Well, I'm not surprised that the fear of losing one's job is greater than actually getting the virus, especially when we know that the unemployment is on the rise in the region as we brace ourselves for a recession. More than 90% of the people see measures taken to stop spreading the virus, such as self-isolation, quarantine for the infected, and the use of masks and gloves as effective. But less than half, 42% to be precise, think that governments are doing enough to protect people from losing their jobs, whereas 35% are impatient to return to work, whereas 32% are just happy to be spending time at home with their families. Now, if anything positive did come out of this pandemic, it's spending more time with loved ones. When it comes to Western Balkan businesses, 81% had been affected by COVID-19, 2% had been forced to close down, and 60% had to downscale in order to survive. Now, on the other hand, 38% declared problems with supply chain, which I suppose would have been an even bigger issue had the region not succeeded to open green corridors. Now, the biggest concern for businesses is a loss of income. And you can see this in the example of the tourism sector, which during lockdown lost €1 billion monthly. 50% of businesses believe that financial aid would be best, while 48% believe that delaying taxes is the way to go. To conclude with, 1/4 of businesses are not confident they have the resources to make it through the coronavirus outbreak. Although 5% already report firing their staff permanently, in the Western Balkans there is still a dash of optimism, with 41% of businesses are confident that the economic situation after the COVID situation will be positive. Perhaps they'll create a vaccine or find a cure, or the virus will just simply weaken. But whatever happens, we'd like to believe it. I'm Rashad Strick, the owner of the Ministry at Chafe, a small coffee shop in Sarajevo.
As this pandemic keeps billions of people at home, one sector is already feeling the pinch. I mean, tourism. 1 in 5 book trips to Western Balkans planned for 2020 is cancelled. As tourism contributes to 10.2% of the GDP in the Western Balkans, the situation is notoriously difficult. 11.4% of the total employees are from travel and tourism sector, which means downturns in this employment scheme will be effect soon. Tellingly, indeed 42% of travel agencies and tour operators, when asked by us, confirmed they already started cutting costs and sacked some employees. The impact of corona pandemic is so huge that the World Tourism Organization estimates 2020 international arrivals worldwide would decline by 20, even 30%. In other words, it would cause the sector to lose some 7 years of its growth, as at European level is losing €1 billion per month. 78% of travel agencies and tour operators in the Western Balkans consider they will have huge economic impact due to the cancellation of the book trips. Yes, these numbers are a stinging assessment of the economic difficulties we have to face in the post-pandemic phase. I know one might ask, why are you telling us how gloomy the picture looks like? Because denial helps nobody. Faced with the bad news, we will all have to rethink a higher challenge. How will this end? What will the authorities do to reduce the negative effects of the crisis, support tourism and attract visitors to our region? Will financial support be enough? How much a tax relief can ease the sufferings? What are the expectations of the workers in sector bringing billions of euros to our economies? These are questions yet to be answered. Until then, we can only say, come together now, in a united front to limit unprecedented loss of tourism revenues. Let's start marketing and promotion of new ideas how to save the sector. What about visa relief system or no visa travel regime among Western Balkans? RCC proposed it last year. Can we start from home? 1st of July is a special day for the Western Balkans. On this date a year ago, we started paying less money for our phone bills, as the regional roaming agreement entered into force, reducing roaming costs across our region as much as 99% in some cases. And we can surf, talk, and text more. Data traffic increased for more than 60%. Outgoing calls in roaming are heading to zero roaming tariffs in 2021. A regional success story in its own right. Could such regional cooperation achievement be repeated? Yes, of course it could. Western Balkans demonstrated it in the most difficult moment during the coronavirus outbreak. Supply chains, a necessity for our citizens while in lockdown, was never blocked. We got together and made green corridors, ensuring smooth delivery of medicines and essential goods. Where do we go next? Regional economic integration, fully. That's what Western Balkans, RCC and European Union are working on. Bottom line, modernization fit for citizens of 21st century. We know and we have tested the formula. Now we need to focus on the real target and make it happen. As when there is a will, there is always a way. To make ourselves count as we are good, better, always together.
The Regional Cooperation Council presents Balkan Barometer, People and Business Viewpoints. Regional.
In these unprecedented times, technology has allowed us to work, educate, and live emotions, although physically distant. Yet not all could be done this way. Our lives as we know it went through a tremendous trial.
Does it come as a surprise to you that 90% of Western Balkan citizens see coronavirus as a threat to their national economy, whereas only 70% see it as a threat to themselves personally? Well, I'm not surprised that the fear of losing one's job is greater than actually getting the virus, especially when we know that the unemployment is on the rise in the region as we brace ourselves for a recession. More than 90% of the people see measures taken to stop spreading the virus, such as self-isolation, quarantine for the infected, and the use of masks and gloves as effective. But less than half, 42% to be precise, think that governments are doing enough to protect people from losing their jobs, whereas 35% are impatient to return to work, whereas 32% are just happy to be spending time at home with their families. Now, if anything positive did come out of this pandemic, it's spending more time with loved ones. When it comes to Western Balkan businesses, 81% had been affected by COVID-19, 2% had been forced to close down, and 60% had to downscale in order to survive. Now, on the other hand, 38% declared problems with supply chain, which I suppose would have been an even bigger issue had the region not succeeded to open green corridors. Now, the biggest concern for businesses is a loss of income. And you can see this in the example of the tourism sector, which during lockdown lost €1 billion monthly. 50% of businesses believe that financial aid would be best, while 48% believe that delaying taxes is the way to go. To conclude with, 1/4 of businesses are not confident they have the resources to make it through the coronavirus outbreak. Although 5% already report firing their staff permanently, in the Western Balkans there is still a dash of optimism, with 41% of businesses are confident that the economic situation after the COVID situation will be positive. Perhaps they'll create a vaccine or find a cure, or the virus will just simply weaken. But whatever happens, we'd like to believe it. I'm Rashad Strick, the owner of the Ministry at Chafe, a small coffee shop in Sarajevo.
As this pandemic keeps billions of people at home, one sector is already feeling the pinch. I mean, tourism. 1 in 5 book trips to Western Balkans planned for 2020 is cancelled. As tourism contributes to 10.2% of the GDP in the Western Balkans, the situation is notoriously difficult. 11.4% of the total employees are from travel and tourism sector, which means downturns in this employment scheme will be effect soon. Tellingly, indeed 42% of travel agencies and tour operators, when asked by us, confirmed they already started cutting costs and sacked some employees. The impact of corona pandemic is so huge that the World Tourism Organization estimates 2020 international arrivals worldwide would decline by 20, even 30%. In other words, it would cause the sector to lose some 7 years of its growth, as at European level is losing €1 billion per month. 78% of travel agencies and tour operators in the Western Balkans consider they will have huge economic impact due to the cancellation of the book trips. Yes, these numbers are a stinging assessment of the economic difficulties we have to face in the post-pandemic phase. I know one might ask, why are you telling us how gloomy the picture looks like? Because denial helps nobody. Faced with the bad news, we will all have to rethink a higher challenge. How will this end? What will the authorities do to reduce the negative effects of the crisis, support tourism and attract visitors to our region? Will financial support be enough? How much a tax relief can ease the sufferings? What are the expectations of the workers in sector bringing billions of euros to our economies? These are questions yet to be answered. Until then, we can only say, come together now, in a united front to limit unprecedented loss of tourism revenues. Let's start marketing and promotion of new ideas how to save the sector. What about visa relief system or no visa travel regime among Western Balkans? RCC proposed it last year. Can I start from home? 1st of July is a special day for the Western Balkans. On this date a year ago, we started paying less money for our phone bills, as the regional roaming agreement entered into force, reducing roaming costs across our region as much as 99% in some cases. And we can surf, talk and text more. Data traffic increased for more than 60%. Outgoing calls in roaming are heading to zero roaming tariffs in 2021. A regional success story in its own right. Could such regional cooperation achievement be repeated? Yes, of course it could. Western Balkans demonstrated it in the most difficult moment during the coronavirus outbreak. Supply chains, a necessity for our citizens while in lockdown, was never blocked. We got together and made green corridors, ensuring smooth delivery of medicines and essential goods. Where do we go next? Regional economic integration, fully. That's what Western Balkans, RCC and European Union are working on. Bottom line, modernization fit for citizens of 21st century. We know and we have tested the formula. Now we need to focus on the real target and make it happen. As when there is a will, there is always a way. To make ourselves count as we are good, better, always together.
The Regional Cooperation Council presents Balkan Barometer, People and Business Viewpoints. Regional.
In these unprecedented times, technology has allowed us to work, educate, and live emotions, although physically distant. Yet not all could be done this way. Our lives as we know it went through a tremendous trial.
Does it come as a surprise to you that 90% of Western Balkan citizens see coronavirus as a threat to their national economy, whereas only 70% see it as a threat to themselves personally. Well, I'm not surprised that the fear of losing one's job is greater than actually getting the virus, especially when we know that the unemployment is on the rise in the region as we brace ourselves for a recession. More than 90% of the people see measures taken to stop spreading the virus, such as self-isolation, quarantine for the infected, and the use of masks and gloves as effective. But less than half, 42% to be precise, think that governments are doing enough to protect people from losing their jobs, whereas 35% are impatient to return to work, whereas 32% are just happy to be spending time at home with their families. Now, if anything positive did come out of this pandemic, it's spending more time with loved ones. When it comes to Western Balkan businesses, 81% had been affected by COVID-19, 2% had been forced to close down, and 60% had to downscale in order to survive. On the other hand, 38% declared problems with supply chain, which I suppose would have been an even bigger issue had the region not succeeded to open green corridors. Now, the biggest concern for businesses is a loss of income. And you can see this in the example of the tourism sector, which during lockdown lost €1 billion monthly. 50% of businesses believe that financial aid would be best, while 48% believe that delaying taxes is the way to go. To conclude with, 1/4 of businesses are not confident they have the resources to make it through the coronavirus outbreak. Although 5% already report firing their staff permanently, in the Western Balkans there is still a dash of optimism, with 41% of businesses are confident that the economic situation after the COVID situation will be positive. Perhaps they'll create a vaccine or find a cure, or the virus will just simply weaken. But whatever happens, we'd like to believe it. I'm Rashad Strick, the owner of the Ministry at Chafe, a small coffee shop in Sarajevo.
As this pandemic keeps billions of people at home, one sector is already feeling the pinch. I mean, tourism. 1 in 5 book trips to Western Balkans planned for 2020 is cancelled. As tourism contributes to 10.2% of the GDP in the Western Balkans, the situation is notoriously difficult. 11.4% of the total employees are from travel and tourism sector, which means downturns in this employment scheme will be effect soon. Tellingly, indeed 42% of travel agencies and tour operators, when asked by us, confirmed they already started cutting costs and sacked some employees. The impact of corona pandemic is so huge that the World Tourism Organization estimates 2020 international arrivals worldwide would decline by 20, even 30%. In other words, it would cause the sector to lose some 7 years of its growth, as at European level is losing €1 billion per month. 78% of travel agencies and tour operators in the Western Balkans consider they will have huge economic impact due to the cancellation of the book trips. Yes, these numbers are a stinging assessment of the economic difficulties we have to face in the post-pandemic phase. I know one might ask, why are you telling us how gloomy the picture looks like? Because denial helps nobody. Faced with the bad news, we will all have to rethink a higher challenge. How will this end? What will the authorities do to reduce the negative effects of the crisis, support tourism and attract visitors to our region? Will financial support be enough? How much a tax relief can ease the sufferings? What are the expectations of the workers in sector bringing billions of euros to our economies? These are questions yet to be answered. Until then, we can only say, come together now, in a united front to limit unprecedented loss of tourism revenues. Let's start marketing and promotion of new ideas, how to save the sector. What about visa relief system or no visa travel regime among Western Balkans? RCC proposed it last year. Can I start from home? 1st of July is a special day for the Western Balkans. On this date a year ago, we started paying less money for our phone bills, as the regional roaming agreement entered into force, reducing roaming costs across our region as much as 99% in some cases. And we can surf, talk and text more. Data traffic increased for more than 60%. Outgoing calls in roaming are heading to zero roaming tariffs in 2021. A regional success story in its own right. Could such regional cooperation achievement be repeated? Yes, of course it could. Western Balkans demonstrated it in the most difficult moment during the coronavirus outbreak. Supply chains, a necessity for our citizens while in lockdown, was never blocked. We got together and made green corridors, ensuring smooth delivery of medicines and essential goods. Where do we go next? Regional economic integration, fully. That's what Western Balkans, RCC and European Union are working on. Bottom line, modernization fit for citizens of 21st century. We know and we have tested the formula. Now we need to focus on the real target and make it happen. As when there is a will, there is always a way. To make ourselves count as we are good, better, always together.
The Regional Cooperation Council presents Balkan Barometer People and Business Viewpoints.
Dear all, we are back. I think that, you know, the anxiety is increasing and everyone is eager to know who the winners are. I have the privilege and then the pleasure to give the floor to the RCC Secretary General. Madame Bregu, the floor is yours. Please lead us towards the winners. Thank you.
Vera, thank you very much, and thank you to everybody. I really didn't expect it that it took so much time to you to identify and then decide on who the winners are out of the 8 shortlisted ones. But finally, you all made up your mind, and now we have 3 winners. So I'm pretty glad now that out of this Balkathon exercise and out of 88 applications, we have 3 winners, 1 for each area. So what do we expect from the guys that won? I think that we do expect them not to consider this only as a reward of what they introduce and on their idea, but to carve out time to develop these ideas a bit further, to innovate us all in times of uncertainty, because we all need creators, and we need products, we need services that are new and not available in the region. Said that, we tried and we fought and struggled to make this happen. So we had the idea, but we all know that EU is paying. So EU is paying to support these agendas. And we all agree that whenever the transformative power of EU in the region is strong, then things can run for better and smoothly. So I see that now we have Veva with us. And I would like to give the floor to her. Veva is the Director General of Western Balkans. But I think that her face should be quite familiar to each of you. So Veva, please, I'll give the floor to you now. I still have some sun on my face.
Thank you, Melinda. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody. First, congratulations to all the teams that have participated, because all of you have shown an incredible amount of talent, fantastic out-of-the-box ideas that, of course, all of you deserve to be recognized in this award, although it's never possible to have you all. So it was a very difficult choice for the jury. But let me thank you for having participated in this first edition of the Balkathon, because it's a very important work that you have done. And it's very much a very promising sign of all the talent that the region Western Balkans has to offer for the digital transformation, which is the pillars of the recovery for the Western Balkans and for the European Union, particularly thinking about the very challenging times we have now in the post-COVID economic recovery. And we want to make sure that, of course, the green economy and the digital economy will be the two pillars that will anchor the future economic prosperity of the European Union and, of course, of the Western Balkans that have the aspiration, and we have the aspiration, to be the future member states. So you are opening the way in that respect, with your talent, with your ideas, with these proposals. And I really, I'm very impressed with what you have done. I'm really looking forward to see, of course, the nomination of the winners that have been selected. But I want to really encourage you all to continue developing, these capacities, because it's really inspirational to see that we have the young generations of the region, making sure that we develop the building blocks of, a smart growth, which is clearly innovation and digital transformation. And especially in these moments of COVID, which really demonstrate the value of this digital world, that is allowing, our work to continue, is allowing that the economy don't stop. So please continue keep up the very fantastic work you're doing. Thanks a lot from the point of view of the European institutions, to the Regional Cooperation Council for having organized such a fantastic initiative. And to all of you, like in the Olympic Games, the most important is not to win, is to participate. Well done. Thank you very much. The floor is yours, Melinda.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm in outdoors in my balcony today. I thought it might be good to be out of the box than in closed doors. Yes, we have started a bit to change. Let me thank, before I go to the winners. I know that you are kind of flattering now, so who's gonna be and having these awards. But let me thank all the mentors and then the jury, those who came all together and decided to help us just to identify the best and the talents in the region. So thank you to all for participating and for helping us in this endeavor. Okay, so now let me start. I will announce the winner on the smart tourism. The winner on the smart tourism is Miron Lukac, Portal World. Congrats to you, Miron.
Thank you so much.
Do I see you here? Yes.
Yeah,
because now I have to read your name as well. And so congrats to you. I think that yes, so you can briefly just say few words on the idea and the solution that you proposed on the smart tourism, and I'm pretty sure that was a solid reason why you are a winner.
Sure, thank you so much for the award. We love participating in the first Balkathon. Our idea is basically an augmented reality app that allows you to see and feel history around you. So it's a new type of technology that we put together, so to have a stable AR experience, and we are really looking forward to distribute it as far and wide in the Balkans as possible. So you will see it very soon in the market. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And we do expect, as I said, from you and everybody to develop the ideas further. Veva, would you like to announce the winners of the other areas as well on the digital learning and data
Thank you, Melinda. First of all, of course, congratulations to Miron Luchak and his Portal World. And it's a pleasure for me to announce two other winners, which are as well have presented amazing projects. Let me start with Albana Muchai of Cal Center, Training Center. Congratulations, Albana. Big applause.
Good.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
I don't know if you want to say something, Albana.
Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we both are really engaged with kids and in learning industry. So that was kind of our self-involvement as well to make it to a digital step. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you very much, Albana. Well done. And then, of course, another very interesting project that we have to reward is Dritan Molangi for Symmetrics.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
Good. Congratulations.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk a little bit about OnePay solution?
So, Albana, you want to talk something? Or
Albana already said hers.
so regarding OpenPay solution, our aim is, as I said, to scale the solution in all the Balkan region to lower the cost of online payments today, and to facilitate all the merchants to give facility to offer online payments despite the size or despite the area they are offering the products online, and this to give clients the opportunity to pay easily, fast, and secure.
Great.
Thank you.
Well done.
So we have three. These are the three winners, all young, and I do hope that you are already, you have already developed the ideas and some other ideas in entrepreneurship. So I think now this is time to come to an end. No, Vera?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I was also told.
Yeah.
There is something, a trophy or something from the PR, but I don't know whether it's still the case or not.
While the PR will give us an order, so let me thank everybody for participating, for sharing your ideas with us. Why I'm happy, I told you at the beginning that this was not an easy call for us as well, but I'm happy as well. I'm happy because this means and speaks a lot of holding. So we are capable of holding, and holding together is the most important need, I think, in times of crisis. Holding, encouraging, protecting each other. And for us as well at the RCC, this is a process of intrapreneurship. For you might be a process of entrepreneurship as well, but for us it's an important process of intrapreneurship. So I would like to thank and congratulate all the participants, and thank you very much, Veva. Thank you for the support and for trusting that we can think out of the box, not only doing our usual meetings and conferences. And good luck to everybody, to guys. Thank you, Vera, and to the girls there who've been working on this idea quite, let's say, long hours, and then successfully. Now, do we have any order from PR, or shall we leave?
Well, I don't.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have no orders, so
okay, they should have screenshotted us in the meantime, so somebody can develop something that will look better while we are on the Zoom platform. Okay, thank you guys, and good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Visi, thank you. Bye.
Visi, thank you.
Thank you.